I think that should be the stream up now. Hello. Hello everyone. Shouldn't be too long before we get started here. I'm just finishing something off in the meantime. But yes, hello everyone. Welcome to Tier 1 for ALR. It's Thursday night. We're back again. This time Silverstone. Predictions for today. Oh god. On the podium, I reckon Joe, Renz, Mitchell podium. I think we'll get 2 safety car. Well, actually, no, we'll get the single safety car if it's dry, 2 in the wet. Looking forward to racing with you. Ah, yeah, crossplay's coming soon, isn't it? Saw that announcement earlier. Hello, Stal. You won't have to miss me much longer. And that's what they all say, Renz. That's what they all say. They all say, oh yeah, I'm absolutely god awful at this track before they eventually go on and win. That's usually what happens here. Got 15. You see, I'm the host for this lobby today, so let's hope that goes all well. The aim that Mitchell doesn't get the advantage of warm tyres. Practice earlier with a nightmare. You can say that again. One of the guys on Tier 1 decided he wanted to shove me in a wall, so I'm not expecting too much for driving standards. The Swedes and blood on the podium, a dream scenario. I mean, it would take one hell of a race for that to happen, I'm not going to lie. I would be more surprised if that happened than my prediction, that's for sure. Anyone else got any predictions they want to throw out there? Number 1 fan of Rigo. Yeah, no, time trial setups just, yeah, no, they're pointless now. Absolutely pointless now. You need a, it's dry. Okay, that's why I thought, oh. Wet race would have been meant we would have been here for a long time. Yes, goes here. His family has to be the Tifosi. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, as per usual, we follow the first person out on track. I'm just setting up some things on the side here, so don't mind the giant block on the right hand side of your screen for a moment. But as per usual, we follow the first person out. We watch their out lap and then we follow on with their flying lap if they're the first person over the line. This time Renz is going to be the one that starts us off. At the end of the well, last week, if you remember, Joe set a 39.0 in Azerbaijan to take pole. Why is his front wing so high up? I don't know. I'm not the one. I'm not the one driving the car. I don't think that's too wrong though. We'll see it on some of the other cards later on. We'll get a good comparison. Yeah, as we come through the last few corners now before we get underway for real, basically. At Silverstone today, round 2, early in the season. Still waiting for the season to shape up. We had Mitchell win last time in Baku. Joe was leading and then crashed in spectacular fashion in the castle section. But here we go. The first lap of the day. Lorenzo's going to lead us up into turn 1. Doesn't invalidate it. Goes a bit wide, a bit deep through turn 2. But then up into turn 3. Doesn't look like he's having an awful lot of problem. Still in 4th gear around turn 4. Up to 5th and then revving the engine all the way through 6 up the Wellington Straight now. 27.9 the benchmark. Let's see what else he can do for the rest of the lap. There's a few corners that can really catch you out when it comes to invalidating here. One, the Renz is coming up to one right now. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold it in. No, he isn't. He absolutely isn't. I would try and see who's next on the grid, but I can't see the next dot. I think Ren's just pulled off the side there. He's going to allow Bloodwave through, so let's see what Bloodwave can set as the benchmark. Very obviously purple in Sector 2. It's the only one that's actually set a Sector 2 time yet. Ishmael just coming on through now. I think the Ferrari on his outlap might have to get out the way here. They come through the final corner. Well, final couple corners. The Vale chicane into the final corner now. And for the lap, it's a 27.8. It's not spectacular, but it's all right bank lap, I think. Someone said the prediction for Paul was a 27.3. I'm more under the impression it might be somewhere in the region of a 27.2, 27.1, I think. Joe, 27.7 banker lap. So there's your banker lap benchmarker. Samuel, he had a good race last time out. Currently in 3rd, 27.9. Mitchell says the fastest first sector. You got to remember, coming into this race, that the current championship leader here is in the Ferrari. Oh, Renz, have you had a... Oh, no. Oh, you have lagged out. Oh, okay. I think you should still have an invite, though. You should still have an invite. Yellow flag in Sector 2. It's the Haas, and Mitchell got a little bit deep into the final corner. Magda Beckett down into Stowe he goes. Says another purple. It could be a really good time here for Mitchell. It's currently top of the grid, 27.5 for BR4, who is looking for a comeback drive compared to what happened last week at Baku. Round the final corner goes Mitchell. Mitchell second at the moment, ever so slightly off the back of BR4. Gake is one of the guys on the track at the moment. Jaguar has invalidated, so we'll watch Ake, see if he's doing a proper lap. Goes through Magazine Beckett's now. See him enter the picture and then leave it again. We get one of the Ferraris, not one of the Ferraris, one of the Alfa Romeos, sorry. Get there eventually. Also follow him along through. Into Stowe he goes. Let's see what time he's realistically going to put up. At the moment we've had a bunch of 27s, so... Oh no, he's come back into the pits. I think that means we're done for people on track at the moment. BR4 into the pits. Mitchell will eventually come into the pits. Nicer on a lap at the moment. Morning, Mr. Bottle. God damn it, Sven. I bottled it with strategy last time out. Trust me, it's one that I'm accustomed to at this point. Bambino won point about 2/10 slower than his first time, so I don't know if this is going to be a flying lap for him either. I think everyone's about to come back into the pits. And Mitchell certainly is, but I don't know whether or not Bambino's on a lap. You're so happy that you missed this track. I wish I could say the same on Sunday. I don't like Silverstone. I do not like Silverstone at all in this game. Nice, Renz, nice. Bambino going a lap? He isn't. He's going to cut the pit lane, but he isn't going on a lap, which means every single person at this point in time, no one doing a lap. I think Staber's now the first of the guys for an out lap on the second go of things. Like, is it Donny or Joe behind him? It's Donny behind him. Well, Ishmael then Donny. Oh, Staber's span. Staber's had a little bit of a spin there, and that's never ever again. That's not good. Oh, it's been sausage curb. Yeah, no, that's can certainly be a nightmare. I don't understand why you're getting so many errors, friends. Someone else has joined. And by the looks of his username, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that he's Dutch. Had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he has PSV in his name. Absolutely nothing. Something with your... I hope he gets that sorted out, because it would be a... would be nice for you to be racing with us. Also, the PS4 isn't taking off slowly. This ain't my thing. I've got a PS5 and it's just the engine sound you could probably hear. Engine, Ishmael just revving that engine. Have to come off him for a minute, otherwise that sound's going to take my eardrums out. Never mind you guys. It's a purple sector 1 there for Ishmael. Currently just shy of 3 temps up. Probably put him somewhere in the regions of a 27.8 through the first sector anyway. But there's only one sector of the entire track, so I would assume that we were able to see him improve further. We go through Maggots and Beckett's now. Ren's PS4 probably. Okay, that's fair. I don't know. I hope he can stay in the lobby. It would be nice. As we go, Ishmael currently 6.5 temps up. 6.5 temps would definitely put him on pole at the moment. It would be provisional pole with 8 minutes left of the session. He goes through the Vale chicane now. Yellow flag in sector 3. Someone just going through the end. It's a 27, boys. 0.666 up on his prior lap. The real question is, how are people going to respond to that? Samuel, I think, might have just gone on a lap. Nice has just started a lap. Let's see what BR4 is going to do. Let's see his response to it. He's currently up by a small amount. An amount not big enough to take his pole position, provisional pole back. We go to Maggots and Beckett now. Let's see where he is at the end of this corner. Pretty nice setup for the final sector. He is currently 3.5 temps clear of his other time, and that would definitely be enough. Let's hope you get that, Renz. Sorted out, Renz. It would be nice to see you get on track. BR4 through the Vale chicane, round the final corner. He spun! Oh, he spun! He was 3 temps up on his time. And he has gone. I see that blood wave up in front. It is, and he is currently quicker. It's not enough to take him any higher in the standings, but he is currently quicker through 2 sectors. Staber's not far following off the back of him, I don't think. Staber's coming into pit, and Bloodwave up just shy of 2 temps, and up to 6 he goes. It's a bunch of people going into pit now. I think that's a Williams behind him. It is a Williams behind him. Let's watch PSV over here. Bambino is also currently on a lap by the looks of things. He's just about to finish it. Whether or not that was invalid, I don't know. it wasn't, he didn't improve. Looks like a couple of other people coming into the pits. Red Bull and Mercedes. Oh, a little bit of a step out there for the Williams. Not sure how much time he's going to lose from that. Certainly not enough for a pole setting first sector. It's not that far off, I don't think, though. He comes up to, well, the middle of sector 2, and you used old tyres, did you, Donny? Well, might want to put some new ones on and get a quicker 28 than that. And through Max the Becker's PSD goes. Oh, it's deep. It's very deep. And I don't think it's going to prove him too well there. That Magneton Beckett's was looking alright, and then not sure if it was a lockup or anything on the on what looked like the front left, but his car just wouldn't turn to the right. It's going to hinder his lap. I don't know what his lap's going to end up, but he comes through the final corner now. He's not done the BR4 where he spins, but he's going to put up a 28.1, which isn't going to put him too far up the grid. As we see, there's only, I think, 3 or 4 people currently on track. Well, it's 4 people now. I see a Ferrari and a McLaren coming out onto the track. A bit of Samuel and Jaguar. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen, I think Renz has just invalidated again through the same corner as he did on his first lap. And he is running out of time. He's gotta pull a lap in eventually. With that, the Williams is going to do another flying lap by the looks of it. Ever so slightly slower than his... You already spun. Ah, right. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's see what PSG can do, and then we'll watch. Is it Jaguar out first? Yeah, it looked like the McLaren got out first, so we'll watch the McLaren as well. Another one actually on a proper lap right now, the Williams. So we're gonna continue on with him unless he's gonna go into the pit. He's just doing a considerably fast in lap. I'd probably be diving into the pits right now, yeah. Well, let's watch Jaguar then. He's one of 2 people to not set a lap so far in qualifying. Well, not a valid lap anyway. But let's see where he can place himself. Gone through the final corner now, and there you go, start of the lap. And down into turn 1 he goes. Looks like it's flat. And still an 8th going through turn 2. Down to 4th into turn 3. And then down 1 more into turn 4. And let's see how well he can get an exit up the straight here. DRS opens up. Down the straight he comes. What's his sector time going to be? 27.7. Which is not purple, but not particularly bad compared to some of the other ones we have seen. Still a couple of people on their out laps, couple of people actually in flying laps. I think Samuel is not that far off the back of Jaguar here, doing his own out lap. Also, I'd like to say, for 15 people watching, I hope you're enjoying yourselves right now. Still the entire race to come, 2 minutes left to qualify. Hope you stick with us. Got 104.5 for Jaguar. They go through the second sector. Yellow flag in sector 3 and sector 1, but I think there's just people exiting the pits now for their last go. You see some of these people might encounter a little bit of traffic. Here comes Jaguar through the final corner. It's not a particularly great lap, I don't think. 28.9. Let's see what Samuel can do as he comes over the line, and he's up into second. 27.5. Who's closer to the line then? Mitchell or... Oh, Mitchell. See Mitchell coming across a little bit of traffic there. A couple of guys stopping, weaving to let him through. At least people aren't holding everyone else up. That's good news. Let's see what Mitchell can do through the second sector. Never mind, he's invalidated it. Let's have a look what Nice is doing. It is Nice. We're first to the Red Bulls. So Nice is going to be encompassing some traffic issues through Maggots and Beckett, I think. Oh no, pulled over to the side to let him through. But it's certainly where you can be when it comes to traffic here. I think there's a purple sector too there, I think, for Nicer. Not sure what happened with the Red Bull behind him. There's a bunch of people holding up at the Vale chicane right now. Let's see if they're going, or it's Nicer gonna be in a bit of a problem here. Through the final corner he goes. It's a 27-4. Ishmael comes into pit. I think his lap might have been interrupted. Let's see who's closest to the line. I think it might be Donny. Donny's invalidated, actually, so it's Bambino. We see 16 seconds left of the session, and Nicer beat Ishmael by 0.003. The two Red Bulls, 1 and 2 at the moment. Let's see if anyone can top them. Bambino going through the second sector. It's his last shot at this. It's a purple second sector. He's only 5/10 up at the moment, though. Not sure if that's just a visual glitch, the purple every time. But going to be around a 28 flat, I think, for Bambino at the moment. Maybe a little bit less. Around the final corner he goes. Let's see what he can do. 27.8. My voice decided it didn't like me for a minute then. Is it Mitchell coming up to the line? It is Mitchell coming up to the line. So now we get to see where people are going to place themselves. We saw Nicer put himself a provisional pole. Samuel's only done enough to get third. Mitchell over the line is not going to improve. Let's see what Joe is going to do. Is not going to be able to do anything either. There's a spinning Stayburn. I think there's a spinning Aston Martin as well. Acablito has gone as well. BR4 over the line he comes. It's not good enough. Bloodwave comes over the line as well. He's not good enough to take it. And I think that's it. Samuel's time was ever so slightly slower, which means it's a Red Bull front row lockout. And Nicer Marlino's on pole. Ishmael's on second place. Samuel's on third. BR4's going to fill out the second row with Samuel. Samuel obviously trying to do a redemption arc from last week where he crashed on lap 10 after taking the lead of the race. Mitchell fifth, the current championship leader after 1. You can swear. Reds, you can swear. You can swear. I swear quite a lot. So, I mean, if I get told to turn that down at some point, I will. But I don't have a problem with you swearing. If I did, I'd be quite the hypocrite. But look at that. Look at that. The top 7 split by less than 0.2 of a second. The top 2 by 0.03. 0.003, sorry. Top 3 by under a tenth of a second. And the top 13 by less than 0.8 even. The other 3 not really getting too far, understeer, spins, and track limits not playing friends to those 3. But look how close that grid is. That grid is exceptionally close. 2 game crashes. Yeah, I know, Renz. I know. That was a quite some qualifying there, actually. We might have quite a stat here. I don't think anyone is clear of anyone at the moment. Obviously, Baku, we had Joe clear by quite the length on pole last week. Unable to convert into a race win, which he looked like he was going to do at one point, and then Charles Leclerc right into the wall. And ended his race. Mitchell ended up claiming that one. Mark ended second. And, well, I think we have a shaken up grid here in Silverstone for Tier 1. So, there's a lot that could have happened. Hopefully everyone's tyres should be relatively equal through the formation lap, because I'm pretty sure the host is the only one who would get normal tyres, and for that purpose alone, I am the host. That way, hopefully nobody gets an advantage and it's not just random, because that would be one complete fuck up of a game, if that was the case. Let's have a look at the tyres. Mediums may only last till lap 10. I'm going to disagree with you. I think mediums are going to last longer than that. I think mediums, you'll see people pit about lap 12. Obviously, safety car pending. Whilst we've got 12 people in here, actually, people give me some predictions for this. What's people's predictions for this? Because my predictions may have just gone out the window from the start. So we've got Samuel, Ishmael, Malinho on the medians. Same with Mitchell, Staber, and Bloodwave. BR4's chose to go on the hard to start. Joe on the hard, Bambino on the hards, Heidenberg on the mediums, fill out the top 10. Ake on the hards. Mediums for Rigo, hards for PSV, mediums for Donny, softs for Jaguar. Red Bull crash turn 1 incoming. Certainly an interesting prediction. Ren's obviously on the hards, trying to make something work and praying that his game doesn't crash. I think that would be the best thing that would happen to Ren's tonight, considering his qualifying was marred quite badly by game crashing. People in chat seeming to definitely believe that the one and 2 on our grid are crashing into turn 1. So let's see if chat's predictions are gonna reign true. But while we come to the line, don't forget, more into the season where all the games are starting to come out, and you can check out Aniba for that. Get yourself some discounts. Also Driver 61. But I don't think, looking at qualifying, a lot of these people will need it. But chat, get predictions, then turn 1 might be quite interesting. Here we go. Who's crashing? Who's going over the top of their grid box then? For here, I see a McLaren going very close. Williams is the only one that jumped it. Well then, and with that, we're going to be able to line up quite nicely, let the game eventually screw up the timing sheet, and then back to normal, which means that that's when I'll get my good camera angle, getting a green flag. Who are we waiting on? You're taking the fucking piss. You're taking the piss, right? What is this game is just... No, I don't think it is. I think it's me. I don't understand why though. Nobody decided to give me a good Well then, that's just not how we wanted to go, is it? Well, Donnie gets away with it. Just gonna message Mitchell quite quickly. We're just setting things up here. I don't know why he does that. That's just weird, man. Who's Cruz hosting? I'm just trying to get hold of Mitchell. I don't know why my game does that, man. I'm pretty sure it's it might be something. I missed your I got your spin though. I got you for qualifying 360 BR4. I don't understand why it does that. Just trying to get a thing for a reasoning to what the hell just happened. Because I don't understand why it keeps doing that. It's just awkward. On formation lap. It's not on... Yeah, it's when it glitches on the formation lap. It glitches on the formation lap. So that's not my... There you go. Yeah, it glitches on the formation lap. I don't understand why it does it. I'm going to have to get a proper answer to that later on. Unless anyone could give me a proper answer now. Sorry for the delay, everyone, by the way. I wanted to get away as we were doing it, but apparently not great. Not everything was going well there. Unless it's glitching me, but I don't actually know why it would be glitching me. If it is glitching me, that's just beyond stupid. I understand. But yeah, we're gonna go as soon as we can get it set up. Don't understand how this game doesn't function like anything normally should. What? Just annoying. But if you're still here, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know there's not a lot for me to talk about right now. Well, I was hoping I'd be commentating on a proper race at this point. But that's twice I've tried to host a lobby, and it's twice it's done that to me. So how's everyone's day been? I know there's a thing, but while we're waiting, we might as well. How's everyone's day? I'm doing great. I've got to watch a decent qualifying and, well, bottle a Football Manager draft, but that's beside the point. Why is Dave a spectator? Hopefully I get an answer to why the glitch happened, by the way, later on. Maybe in another stream down the line I'll fully understand it. Be able to prevent against it whenever I'm hosting a lobby, because this game seems to be really fun at times. I'm pretty sure we had 17 last time, maybe something like that. Shouldn't. Oh, we were missing. I feel like we're missing someone. Probably not. No idea. Absolutely no idea if we're missing something, but you know, things happen. Also, I don't think people understand that how much I'm happy that there's songs on this game. Because if not, I think my sanity would die when we were sat in lead lobbies. I'll have a conversation with people later about what actually happened. Crappy EA music. I don't think it's crappy. Also, EA music usually does pretty well. The actual crappy EA music from last year was awful, but the actual songs they put on this game, and obviously things like FIFA and things they put on, they usually do quite nice. Madden in particular. Madden's usually good for songs. But there's the actual music music in quotes. We had last time was awful. Straight up awful. No heroics to sound about. Wrong track, mate. Wrong track. We should be going pretty much straight away here. Ishmael's just put in chat, enjoy the cold tyres. It's not like he was going to get them anyway. You're going to start his 72-degree tyres, so that's what it is. But 26 seconds we get going. And while we wait for the 26 seconds, safety car predictions. How many? I assume some of you already think we're getting one, considering you think there's going to be a lap 1 crash between the 2 Red Bulls. 3 safety cars. Okay. I said 1. I said 1 myself. We should be going pretty much straight away here. There's 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go! Who's got the best start there? Alfa Romeo! Oh, there's a crash already! Alfa Romeo on the wall! And there's no crash between the Red Bulls in turn 1. The 2 Red Bulls are gone! 9/10 of a second up the road. They're both going to fight it through turn 1, then turn 2, and Ishmael and Nisa are going to fight it through turn 4 now, and it looks like Nisa's going to hold his position just momentarily. There's a bunch of people that lost out there. Just take the time on the straight to warm up the tyres, because the game has not enjoyed itself recently. Rigo and Renz. Oh! Donny in the AlphaTauri, and Renz is out. I think people said there'd be a lap 1 safety car. I don't think you meant in that way. I'm looking to see if there's a yellow dot. There isn't a yellow dot. I think that might just be a virtual safety car, and I have no idea how that's happened. What happened? What did Donny do? Something happened to Donny and he's cleaned out Renz as a result. I feel bad for you, Renz, because that was just a shocker of a day. The game crashes twice, you're taken out immediately. It's still virtual safety car. So it's neutralizing the race 1, lap 1 in the race here. What happened in that? What happened into the beginning of sector 2? Donny had a spin. I don't know what caused it. Pyro, Alu, what are you doing this time? Maybe lock up in and Renz into the back of him? I don't think Renz did go into the back of it. Well, Renz did go into the back of him, but I don't think that's what... I don't think it was quite Renz's fault there. I didn't quite see what happened to Donny. He spun. Oh, that sounds like Donny. That sounds a lot like Donny. We're still going here. Still in the virtual safety car. Staber's going to take a drive through as we're just about to start. And here we go again. Nisa has a second gap, or just under a second gap, to Ishmael, who's got a 1.4 second gap to Samuel. So it's a Red Bull 1-2, Ferrari 3-4. As we go, starting again. And you're not wrong, Renz. I feel bad for you here. I feel bad for you. We got fighting a little bit way down the grid here. It's 0.3 of a second between Bambino and Bloodwave, and then Joe in the back of this. And 0.2 of a second now they go through Magnus and Beckett, so we're going to continue watching this fight. These guys are the closest on the grid at the moment. It looked like the Mercedes on the medium tyre is going to go down the inside of Joe. Rigo on the inside of Joe. And he doesn't make it stick. Joe's going to hold on in a bit, Renz. I hope you do come back next week. I hope you do. Nisa sets the fastest lap of the entire race, obviously, because we've only been for 1 lap. And well, Mitchell and everyone's starting to get as we go down the grid. Jaguar on the soft now in the fastest lap on lap 3, and he's not going to be too far off on the soft. The DRS has now been enabled. Oh, the Mercedes just lost its grip. He's going to lose quite a lot of time on Joe there. If he's going to stay in DRS, it's not going to be by an awful lot. The 2 Red Bulls holding their gap, and even extending their gap at the moment to the Ferraris behind him. And Nisa and Ishmael are, well, not clear, but they're probably as clear as they could be for 3 laps into the race. Mitchell trying to get onto the back of Samuel. We saw this last week, and that might play out in the same way again this week. Mitchell 4 tenths back, Ishmael 6 tenths back, and down the grid we've still got a couple people fighting. Closing in through Maggotts and Beckett's, Bloodwave closing on BR4. The hard not particularly serving anyone too well at the moment, but they'll come into it later on. Early safety car might screw them though. And medium tyres on that blonde Bloodwave's car brings him right up to the back of BR4 through the Vale chicane. Into the final corner of the race. Nice sets the fastest lap of the race so far. And it looks like Jaguar's just got Donny and Bloodwave flying at the moment. Yep, Jaguar did get Donny into the Vale chicane, so it's nicely done. Heidenberg with the fastest lap so far. It's currently in 14th. The Aston Martin's not having the greatest of times. One already DNF'd, the other one currently sat in 15th. Jaguar fighting Donny again as we actually going to go to that one. These two are too wide. Jaguar with the inside line has definitely got the better corner in there, but the better exit goes to the AlphaTauri. He's going to bring himself alongside with the use of DRS. And maybe a switch back here for the McLaren. Never mind, the McLaren's going to lose multiple places. Staber's going to be the one that fights Donny this time instead of vice versa. Joe span! Joe has spun into the back of the grid, -1 he goes. And Joe has done a decent amount of practice for this. Oh, definitely has multiple setups. And is not enjoying his time so far, as he seems to be carrying on from when he ended off last week. BR4 and Bloodwave are going to go too wide through the Stowe, and the inside line for BR4 should give him a decent advantage. Whether or not Bloodwave is going to hold him into the Vale chicane, he will. Bloodwave's going to get the position. Up into 5th he goes. Staber and Donny are going to fight it. They're going back and forth. Staber's going to go into the pits now to serve his drive-through. BR4 still hanging on to the back of Bloodwave, but the top 5 now consist entirely of medium runners. Medium runners clearly the better way to go. So far, Jaguar in the pit, and so does Heidenberg going as well. So it might have been damage that caused Jaguar to lose the extra position of Staber in his fight with Donny. Two AlphaTauri's not having the greatest of times either at the moment. We go down. Rigo's going to have a fight here with Bambino. The medium versus the hard again. We usually see the medium win this fight, but Bambino's going to hold him off for the time being. And Staber's drive-through is going to kick him in the, basically like shooting him in the foot, because he is obviously not able to change tyres and had technically done a pit stop. So, well, half a pit stop. So he's just way off the back of the grid. Ishmael and Nicer still going at it. These two, the two Red Bulls, very much still in the race. Chatboy would be a lap 1 collision between the two, but clearly not. Yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 3. There's a spinning Rigo. The Sector 3 is Rigo. The Sector 1, I think, was a Alpha Romeo. I think that's Heidelberg, the spinner in Sector 1. As the two Red Bulls are still going at it. They brought the Ferraris close to the back of them. And much like in real life, we've got Red Bull versus Ferrari. And, oh, there's a few people there here that's able to put up a fight at the moment. Your titled leader is currently sat in 4th. Certain challenges like Joe's not putting up a fight at the moment. Hard tyre is probably going to go longer than the medium, definitely going longer than the medium, but just in case of when people decide to pit. I think it'll be about a bit like 12 laps on the medium tyres here, I think. If earlier was anything to go by, it's less than 0.4 of a second here for Ishmael on Nicer. They're going to go with DRS down the straight. DRS for the two Ferraris behind him as well. And maybe we see a battle here into Stowe. Here we go, Ishmael on Nicer, and he got the move done well before the corner. And he goes and takes the lead of the race as well. Into the Vale chicane, he's got to defend here from Nicer. Nicer doesn't intend to make a move there, actually. He just holds off. Fine with probably being in second at the moment. Waiting, just bide his time to try and make something else happen. Down the grid, you've got the two Ferraris not that far away from each other. You've got BR4 and Bambino within DRS distance of the guy ahead. Rigo, Joe and Donny are having a fight as well back in 9th, 10th and 11th. So we've got battles going on all over the grid. Ishmael almost a second clear already. So not too bad, as we've got 4 within a second again. Or just over a second. It's more 1.5 seconds, but we're pretty much in the exact same position as we were here at Baku. Everyone within 1 and 1.5 seconds. The top 4 pretty much inseparable. Samuel closing into the back of Nicer now, as he looks to rectify his mistake from last week. Maybe that entailed the yellow flag in sector 3. Heidenberg gone again. And I think it's not the end of his race. His car is still going, but with everyone coming up to Stowe now, he might get lapped sooner rather than later. Up in with the DRS, nobody able to make a move. The Red Bull getting a little bit out of sorts, might open the door here into the Vale chicane. Nothing really happens here. As we go down the grid, is the AlphaTauri and the Mercedes going to battle it out? They're going to go too wide. Down into the Vale chicane they go. The AlphaTauri with the inside line. Brakes a little bit later as well, but it looked like Rigo's got the inside and probably the position as well. And Rigo's done well to hold that. Oh, a little bit squirrely there. Opened the door again for Donny. He's not quite got the position yet. Donny's going to get in front into turn 1, and Joe's going to be brought alongside. He's flying through turn 1. The hard tyres helping him out there, and Rigo's gone from possibly holding 9th with the two AlphaTauris to losing out on both of them. And we've still got a battle here for the front 4. The two Ferraris closer than anything else at the moment. The sooner they go off, Joe gets past Donny, and I'm not sure if that's just team orders or Joe just getting a better exit, but Joe takes 9th position off him. We see Mitchell closing at the moment. There's maggots of Beckett's, and any sort of closing he could have done may just be a little bit dead until the following straight. And down the straight we go. The two Ferraris are going to go after that Red Bull. All 3 of them have DRS, and it's going to help the Red Bull just stay in front ever so slightly of the two Ferraris, as Nice is doing some work like he's Checo here, doing some good defending for Ishmael in front, but I don't think that's his intention. Rigo going after Donny again, as these two are going to fight it back through to into the Vale chicane once again. But this time the late break has probably worked for the AlphaTauri, and it actually has. Rigo not able to make the move down the inside into the second part of the chicane that time, and well, has to now go fighting once again with Donny if he wants that position. Here comes Mitchell with the DRS, and that probably looked like team orders rather than anything else. I don't think the two Ferraris wanted much of each other there. Ishmael currently half a second up. Camera angle made me think for a slight second that somebody had actually spun. Bloodwave 2.2 seconds currently off the back of Samuel. So 2 Red Bulls, 2 Ferraris and an Alpine currently sit your top 5, followed by an Alfa Romeo and Haas, and then a Mercedes and 2 AlphaTauris. We might have something into Stowe here. Or is the Red Bull too far back? The Red Bull is too far back. If the Ferrari's too far back, they are as well. Into the Vale chicane might pull him a little bit closer, but not enough to make something stick. Samuel just going to hold off in 4th at the moment. 2 Ferraris being held by the Red Bulls. Well, not really being held, but not able to get past more likely BR4 closing into the back now of Bloodwave, and Rigo and Donny once again, this time the opposite way around, and Rigo's going to get that position into the final corner and up into turn 1. Donny has some fighting to do. Down the straight, maybe a Ferrari looks for it, doesn't make a move on the Red Bull this time, tries to go around the long way, still hanging onto the gearbox, that Red Bull. Maybe a better exit might enable an overtake. It's going to bring him alongside, I think. Nope, the Ferrari sits back and doesn't actually take the move. He also goes wide into Cops in there. As very much probably got a warning for that. Very much got a warning for that even. Mitchell on the back of the Red Bull. We're going to watch this down the straight. It looks like even though both gets DRS, that Ferrari's going to have some speed here. He's going to get past in the corner, so we're now in a Red Bull sandwich for the Ferrari as the current title leader makes a charge through the pack. They are 4 ahead of Bambino, who has on a Bloodwave, sorry, that's just pit. Lap 9 onto hard tyres, I can only assume. Early pit, maybe going for an undercut. Pits for Doddy and Rigo as well. There you go, Bambino, half a second off BR4. And a little bit of a fight here between another Ferrari and a Red Bull. Maybe down the inside. The Ferrari's looking for it. Got alongside. And down the inside he goes. There's a collision there between the two of them. And the Red Bull might just about have position. He does. Able to hold on. The Ferrari had the inside line. Not able to capitalize on it. Maybe something into the following corner here. Nope. Probably wise from the Ferrari as he goes and lines him up for Magnussen and Beckett. Nice to decide that sausage curb on the inside is a nice thing to take, which might be a little bit against the conventional way of taking that corner, and it's allowed for the Ferrari to have a real shot at him here. The Red Bull's going to have the inside line. The Ferrari is not going to be able to pull alongside either. Straight line speed of the Red Bull just holding him there ever so slightly. As never mind, in comes Mitchell and in comes Nicer as well. The other Red Bull and the other Ferrari are going to stay out. BR4 obviously on the hard staying out. Same with Bambino, who's closing that gap. Joe on the hard tyres as well is going to stay out. Same with PSV, who's right on the back of that AlphaTauri. They both go on through. Let's see where the one Red Bull and the one Ferrari come out. Maybe they got jumped. Maybe they got jumped in the pit. I think the Red Bull got jumped in the pit. Oh no, the Red Bull already had Nicer. Never mind. No, the Red Bull. Yeah, Red Bull was already third. I'm pretty sure you're getting one in the very least for going over the white line there. But yeah. Mitchell seems currently net P2, I think. Some of the other guys on hard still got to pit. Same with Ishmael and Samuel. The undercut might work here. Bambino is very much closing in on BR4 in the meantime. As we go into Magnussen Beckett, is it going to be a case that Bambino gets a good enough run with DRS out of this corner into the beginning of the third sector? We're going to find out now. He's got DRS. He's going to have to try and stay in the slipstream of BR4, who's going to have them... Well, he's going to break it enough, actually, just to stay in front. Fusto, as... Well, then. There's 3 guys have come in there, and one of them's on the hard, so I'm not entirely... I'm quite shocked by Bambino's decision to pit there. Ishmael and Samuel both come in, and... Well, BR4 is going to be your leader of the race for a short while. Joe's going to come on through. PSV is going to come on through as well. So, Mitchell coming through Stowe. Where is he coming out? Where is he coming out? Is he going to be in front of those Red Bulls? In front of the Red Bull, sorry. And probably the Ferrari as well. Coming down the final corner. Who's going to get out first? It's going to be Ishmael and Samuel by the looks of it. There's Bambino on his pit as well. As he comes out and I guess is technically joint, well, net P3 now, isn't he? That's what that would make him. Oh, sector 1, there's a spin. I think that's Staber. Yep, that's Staber. On the inside of the corner there, Span and Nicer and Mitchell and Samuel. All three of them are now going to go fighting. And Nicer down the inside of one Ferrari. And on the second one as well. And what a move. If he manages to make that stick. If he makes that stick, he's just done both Ferraris in the same corner. And Nicer is back up into... Wow. There's a bit of a problem there for Bambino, who's dropped a couple of positions. Samuel drops a position to Bloodwave as well. And wow, the Red Bull just made a move. There's 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane for PSV. That was pretty nice of a move, but he's going to lose the position back to Mitchell almost immediately. They're going to go too wide into the Vale chicane, maybe. No, Mitchell backed off to behind him. And the double move on the Ferrari down the inside, it was something that was nice to watch. PSV comes into the pits now and just going to drop quite the way. BR4 and Joe also still having a pit. Nicer and Mitchell, and well, yeah, I think it was Nicer and Mitchell got undercut there, overcut by Samuel and Ishmael by the lap, but it was covered off, maybe, if you want to put it that way. But it allowed for the Red Bull to get quite the gap. Red Bull has quite the gap as 3 or 4 people behind are going to go fighting at this point. And it's 4 or 5 guys there in a row. There's just a train on the back of Nicer in the Red Bull. Currently a Red Bull 1-2 still, 14 laps into the race. Here comes BR4 for his pit onto the medium tyres. We haven't had a safety car yet. We've had a virtual safety car, but not an actual safety car. Nicer doesn't have DRS, and as we've seen, he'd been struggling to defend with the DRS beforehand. He's going to find it even harder now as Mitchell goes on through. He's pretty convincingly up into net P2, I'm pretty sure. There's BR4 coming out, actually. BR4's on his way out. Is he going to be able to hold everyone back? He's about to start speeding up. BR4 is not able to come out in front of Ishmael, but maybe in front of Mitchell. He does come out in front of Mitchell. If he can get those mediums to go, he might have just overcut everyone. Arcade's gone into the pits now as well, and so is Staber. And Bloodwave is not straight through that through turn 4. Not sure if there's any contact there or he just spun on his own, but he's lost the position. Bambino on Samuel now. Down the inside he goes. But he doesn't get the move done before Samuel has the inside of the following corner and maybe is able to pull away now. Who gets the better exit? They're still alongside each other. Into the beginning of into the middle of the second sector, sorry. And it looks like the Haas is going to have him. The Haas on those medium tyres are going to have him. Maybe he catches up to BR4 and Mitchell. And Nicer in the group in front of him. Ishmael 1.8 seconds up in front. And has seemed to have control of this race since the moment he got by Nicer. Yellow flag in sector 3 is to now AlphaTauri. And here comes Mitchell and BR4. Move was there, but it's not actually going to happen. BR4 is going to hold its place. Samuel looks like he got past Bambino in the background. Not sure who that is. It's Joe. It's Joe that spun, actually. Oh, no. Joe's the one that spun. Sector 1. He's going to let everyone through by the looks of it. That is not good news for Joe, who honestly needed this hard to go. And, well, so he could pit onto the mediums and probably get a good run on everyone else on the grid, but that is well and truly dead now. The form from last week seems to be haunting him a little bit more now. BR4, 1.3 seconds behind Ishmael. We have 10 laps left of the race. BR4 gonna start struggling at the end when his tyres go to about 60-70%, but honestly, it's nothing that he can't handle, so maybe, just maybe, he still has a chance of winning this. He's definitely got a tyre advantage. Whether or not he's able to make that advantage stick, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. 9/10 down the straight with no DRS. It doesn't allow for the Ferrari to get anywhere near him. As the Ferrari is going to have to settle currently for third. Bambino is second behind Nicer at the moment. As we still have a DRS train going from first through sixth, but it's just a case of how long before fifth and sixth are broken off that train. Joe's now in the pits, taking off his 15-lap old hards onto the medium tyre, but his plano going longer and then onto the medium, so he's got a faster tyre at the end. Probably would have worked had he not spun, but now it definitely won't. As he's just going to be fighting for bottom of the points. BR4 is closed right in on Ishmael here for the lead. Ishmael's probably just going to try and hang on for as long as he physically can. But BR4 has some good pace behind him, and we'll wait and see until those medium tyres eventually drop off, if they do drop off. Here we go, 3.5 tenths, so they go through Maggots and Beckett's now, and they look like 6 has dropped off the train, so it's now a 5-person train as Bambino has closed right up to the back of Nicer. And with DRS, this should be it for BR4, who gets alongside. It's a Stowe. Has he got the move done? He has, and Mitchell's going to go alongside as well, down the inside. And Mitchell's going to get the position on Ishmael. And that's a 2-for-1 there, and that was not the greatest of times for Ishmael, but I'm not sure that a lot he could have done with DRS helping the two behind. Bambino currently just did the fastest lap of the race as he tacks onto the back of Nicer. And we've got pretty much the only ones within the second gap actually are the top 5. We've got this train forming. Mitchell 8 tenths to a second off BR4, and BR4 seemingly away at this point. We'll see later. We'll see if those tyres come back. Come back to haunt him later on. Maybe he got on too early. Here comes Bambino down the inside of Nicer. He does not get the moves to stick. He just backs off ever so slightly. Not sure it'll be too long before where we had the third DRS on the mains. I do not remember that. I didn't play an awful lot of them, to be fair. Staber just did the hardest lap of the fastest lap on the race sorry, if I can speak English, on the hard tyre. And it looked like Bambino, everyone up to Mitchell has got DRS. Mitchell has dropped off the back of that second mark, and BR4 might be clear. I say might because going through this last sector is always a chance to bring it back. 1.1 seconds, BR4, fastest lap of the race, 30.4. May be able to just solidly hold everyone off now. We've got 7 laps of the race left. We're on lap 19, so actually we've got 8 laps of the race left, and it looks like Bambino and Nicer in the background there had a little bit of a collision. Bambino's going the long way round, and he's done it just to perfection there, as he definitely gets the move done the long way. You don't usually see too many round the outside there, but you get one there from the Haas. Mitchell only 6 tenths to a second off of Ishmael there, currently in third. BR4 1.25 seconds up in the lead, and now he needs to break probably as big a gap as possible. Especially now that Mitchell behind him doesn't have DRS and is now under hunt from that Red Bull, who is 9.5 tenths in clear of Bambino in 4th. And it looked like a couple of these people are flying nicer on the back of it. Bambino as well. Is he able to do anything? He's not. Looks like Samuel also in the back of this train, and Bloodwave, after his spin earlier, is able to re-find his composure and put himself back into this little fight we've got going on. You see Bambino, and then, well, technically it's a 7-person train pretty much now. As soon as Bloodwave gets himself a half-tenth closer, it'll be a 7-person train, as Mitchell is now within the second mark of BR4, keeps fluttering in and out of it. He does have DRS, so maybe those hards are at a point where they're better than those medium tyres. Still got 6 seconds to 6 laps to go, or 7, just what, 6.5. And if that is the case, then BR4 is not going to be liking his position. He would have liked a bigger gap for another couple of laps. Did the yellow flag in the 3rd sector? I think that's Staber retiring in the pit, so that's your second DNF of the race. We hadn't had one since Renz hit the back of Donny after Donny span in lap 1. But Jaguar is not that far from being lapped, as BR4 currently sets the pace. Mitchell's closing in, 8 tenths of a second. Yellow flag in sector 1 is still Staber. Everyone all the way up to Samuel in a DRS train. Whether or not anybody's going to be able to make any moves, well, I guess we'll find out in the next 5 laps. It looked like Nicer had got past. He has. Nicer's got past Bambino, and that is an awful time for 3 seconds. Ishmael there with 3 seconds worth of penalties. It looked like is that Jaguar Staber? I'm not sure who that actually is, but it looked like Staber because he's just parked the car to retire from the race. But everyone is now outside of that DRS, and Nicer and Bambino got to go at it. Nicer at the inside line, and Nicer's clipped the edge of Bambino. Was nice enough to correct the car. I don't think that was intentional, but I think that was just where the Bambino came with the spin. But the clip there between Bambino and Nicer, I don't think that's going to be viewed very nicely. 3 seconds for Bambino off the side of it as well. And he's lost position as Samuel, also bringing Bloodwave into the fight for, well, what might be a podium at this point. And never mind, Nicer is all over the place and the Ferrari is on the back of him. Ishmael might get away with the 3-second penalty, but he is currently 2.7 seconds up on the Ferrari. 2.6 seconds up on the Ferrari, 2.7 on the Red Bull. The Ferrari is probably just going to be closing in at this point. Nicer did not have a nice second sector, let's put it that way. No safety cars as of yet. Ishmael's just lost the DRS gap to Mitchell, who's still hanging in there on BR4. We're on lap 22. And unless those tyres start falling off a cliff, I think BR4 might have this. You see the cars in the background of Ishmael there as he goes through turn 4. 2.5 seconds ahead. Rigo gets 3 seconds. So you've got Ishmael with 3 seconds, Bambino with 3 seconds, PSV and Rigo both with 3 seconds as well, I believe. Joe sets the fastest lap of the race in 12th. Still got a pretty good race to the end here. It's a second gap pretty much to the dot for BL4 and Mitchell in 1st and 2nd. And the Alfa Romeo is looking to stamp his fight on the championship after what was quite the poor round 1. Seemingly bouncing back in round 2, the strategy decision to go on the hards and then onto the medium tyres has seemingly worked at the moment. Still have quite a way left of the race. No DRS at the moment. Samuel 2.1 seconds and Ishmael is dropping off. not able to hold on to the back of Mitchell and DRS. The DRS help he was getting, he doesn't have any more, so it could be possible that he might just drop off and end around 6th position. But at the moment, we'll find out in about 4.5 laps. BR4 and Mitchell still just under a second here between the two of them. And well, it's a case of whose tire's going to benefit them more. 8 laps on those medium tires. We will come to about those medium tires end point at the end of the race, so it will just be a case of who can keep their car in check right at the end. Nicer and Bambino are going to be fighting. Those 3 on the back of Samuel in a DRS train. And well, if you're the Red Bull in 3rd, you want people to start fighting, because that's probably your only way into a podium right now. It's 1.8 seconds off the back of Mitchell, and Mitchell is rapidly closing that in. He was rapidly closing that in. It's pretty much about 2 tenths on this lap. Has DRS, he's closed it into about 7 tenths of a second. He is slowly gaining on lap to lap. Bambino just lost the position on the outside there to Bloodwave as he goes up into 6th. Ready to charge down Nicer. 1.9 seconds now between Samuel and Ishmael as they look to try and get them on the bottom step of that podium. Mitchell not closing in that gap enough here to through the first sector to BR4, who's seemingly holding his ground. But can the championship leader make it 2 wins from 2? Or is he going to have to settle for 2nd? Ed, the hard tyre, just beaten by Joe, who apparently saw that and went, not today. Currently sits in 12th, not going to get any points whatsoever, and not particularly enjoyed his time here either. Especially not as much as he was enjoying Baku until everything that happened there between the front 3. And now Mitchell, 7 tenths of a second, going to be DRS in this straight. Probably going to cut that gap down. He is going to cut that gap down. BR4 coming up to the back of a McLaren. Might get blue flagged eventually, but it's now 4 tenths of a second. And that gap has been cut considerably. With 2 laps left of the race. Is BR4 going to have enough to hold it out? Are we going right to the end? Nicer closing in on Samuel as well. 6 tenths of a second. Everyone else outside of DRS range, that includes Bloodwave, who's on pretty much the 2nd on the dot. Slowly losing a little bit of time to Nicer in front of him. But Mitchell is closing that in. I think BR4 might get DRS with the blue flags. He doesn't. And Mitchell's going to use the DRS himself to close that gap. It's within 4 tenths of a second now. And as the longer we go, the medium tyres are not helping BR4. And as I said about 4 laps ago, those medium tyres are going to come back. Well, they're going to go off the tyres, and the potential race win is going to come back to the hard tyres later on in the race. 4 tenths of a second. 4.5 tenths of a second now. It's a little bit more into Max Beckett's half a second. Mitchell can get a good run. He might get a good solid run into Stowe. Jaguar gets 3 seconds, but he's been lapped, so it's rather pointless. You see the Alfa Romeo teammate of BR4 not that far ahead. 4 tenths of a second. Within 4 tenths of a second now. Within 3 tenths of a second. As they go through Stowe, right on the back of each other. Into lap 26 of 26. Joe gets 3 seconds, but he's too far back for it to make an awful lot of difference. And Ishmael is not clearing much of a gap whatsoever. He might just get 5th. Yeah, he might just get 5th with the penalties, maybe, if Bloodwave is a little bit off the pace. But here we go. We've got to fight for the lead here. 4.5 tenths of a second. DRS will get put in here. Who's going to have it? BR4 or Mitchell? The first of 2 DRS zones. Down the straight we go. Mitchell is going to close the gap within a quarter of a second with just about 2 tenths of a second to go. Ake says the fastest lap of the race on hard tyres. You can tell that those hards are coming back into shape as we go down into the second sector for the final time. And now into Cops and then Maggots and Beckett's. Is Mitchell going to have enough, or is BR4 going to hold it right to the very end? He is closing it in. 4 tenths of a second through Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to get DRS. He's going to have a run. He's got to have his last shot here. It's within 4 tenths. With DRS. Within 3 tenths. Still with DRS. Down into Stowe. It's not enough for Mitchell. He's got to get right up to behind him. Into the Vale chicane or it's game over. And into the final corner. It looks like if BR4 doesn't spin here, he's going to take it home. And BR4 is going to do exactly that here in Britain. Takes it home, wins the race. And that was right down to the wire. Your championship leader is still your championship leader there in second. Samuel's going to get on the podium where he probably should have been in Baku, but didn't here. But didn't there, does it here. Nicer 4th, Bloodway 5th. Ishmael's going to end 6th after a 3-second time penalty has killed his chances. Ambino 7th after a collision with Nicer that could still push everyone up behind him up a position yet. PSV in 8th, Rigo in 9th. Donny's going to end 10th, and the AlphaTauris, what look like fierce contenders, especially Joe for the drivers, has not got off to a start at all. I wouldn't say they got off to a bad start, but that would mean they'd have to get off to a start. As they finally get a point, but, you know, not exactly what they wanted. Ake's going to get 11th with the fastest lap, but he didn't get anything. Joe gets 12th. Heisenberg's going to be the last over the line. Jaguar was lapped in 14th. And Heisenberg in 13th in the other Alfa Romeo. The Ferrari's got quite a nice point haul. As over the line we come, and what a drive that was. Right to the line. We had quite the drive there. Nice had a couple of good moves as well until he had a collision with Bambino, and things like that was not great. Let's see if we can get people in for interviews. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can do it. I'm pretty sure I put party audio on, but we'll check as we go along. But what a race that was. As you got your podium celebrations there. BR4 is on top of the world here in Britain. But he had to work for it. He definitely had to work for it. Mitchell, one more lap and he well and truly had it. But he couldn't actually do an awful lot to stop BR4's strategy from working here. And the Alfa Romeo on the top step. Followed by 2 Ferraris. If only that was real life for some people. That would probably mean the Ferraris fucked it again. Nicer in 4th. Samuel actually I want... As the top, Ishmael penalties giving him a little bit of a hard time. Staber and Renz, 2 DNFs. I did feel bad for Renz considering he came in and was effectively out almost immediately. Jaguar there a lap back. And penalties not really affecting an awful lot in the end, apart from at the top here where Ishmael drops to 6th on 3rd. And what a drive. As we go into, I'm going to go into a party now so we can try and get interviews going. If I can find it again. That should be the party that we need. But what a drive we've just witnessed. Round 1 was great at the front. Round 2 was even better. And if we're going to have fights like this the entire season, I hope you guys are all going to strap in with me, because we're going to need it. Also, we're seeing if we can get people in. What a race that was. What a race.
Hello.
Hello. Could people in chat hear Mitchell? I can't. I personally can't remember if I hit yes or no on the include party audio at the end there, at the beginning. That was good racing. That was very good racing.
Yeah, it was. Apart from one moment, but...
Can you guys hear Mitchell?
I'm gonna look for myself. Hello, hello.
If not, I'll restart the stream in a minute.
Yeah, they can.
They can hear you. All right. I don't think
low, but
yeah, I don't think any of us is actually coming in for a interview. Hello, Dylan. But yeah, but you know, it'll be interesting to get your point of view here, Mitchell. Talk us through your race, because there was a lot going on.
Quali. For some reason, my first one was the best, and I got never close to it. No clue why, but yeah. So that was then the start on cold tires was so 8. Steva had a flying start, but it's a shame he spun. Then, let's see, I think in the beginning everyone was quite similar on pace in the top 5. And I think Samuel got a bad exit once, and well, he just let me pass. I thought, oh, that's great. Quite a team player for being a reserve, so that was good. And then, yeah, I was much faster as the guys I had on the mediums. I don't know, maybe better tire, no clue. But I was much faster. Decided I didn't want to be undercutted. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake, because the first